is up, YouTube? My name is Mario, aka the real Super Mario. Check out the main channel because the main channel is popping, aka the Loot Box Hero, aka YouTube's greatest fat man here, bringing you another video. Alright, so this is another one in the series of videos where I talk about black tropes. Hopefully this one doesn't get restricted by YouTube because it's just the way my channel is right now. So of course, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do, so that hopefully the algorithm picks this up and carries it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna get into 5 more tropes that I think need to end in black escapism. Alright, now of course you know I do these tropes. I mean, again, this is just optional. Like, these are just guidelines. If you are a writer or somebody writing a black character or a black story, and you like these tropes, or if you got some of this stuff in there, it is what it is. I'm just letting you know that there are other options, okay? You don't have to use these tropes. So let's get on into it.
Hope is the only thing that keeps us fighting. I will fulfill my destiny and save the kingdom.
Wait a minute!
And you ain't black.
The Killmonger hairstyle. Oh boy, this one people have been waiting on. People have been waiting on me to talk about this one. Alright, and I didn't want to do it because it's kind of low-hanging fruit and everybody kind of talks about it. Alright, because at this point it's everywhere. Alright, you know, freaking, you know what I'm saying, dago, Killmonger had it first, you know, then Eddie Gordo had it for some reason in Tekken. Peter Darker ended up getting it. The Prince of Persia dude got it, and he's not even black. So I'm like, yeah, it's time. Alright, it's time. We gotta put this to rest. And again, there's nothing. It's not even anything wrong with the hairstyle itself. All right, the hairstyle's not bad. I thought about getting it. I got enough hair. I thought about getting it myself, but then I was like, I don't want to be part of the problem. I don't want to be part of the problem. But but really, there's nothing wrong with it. The main issue is it's a design trope. It's not like a negative trope, like you know, something that's like meant to hurt black escapism, or it's meant to push an ideology, you know, or it's meant to make black people into like a template, as IGN says it. But now the thing is, if IGN even agrees it's time to stop, you know
It's time to stop.
All right, but the fact is, this is a design trope, and the main reason why it's a thing is mainly because, you know, developers just want to feel cool and hip. They want their character to feel modern and to feel relevant. You know what I'm saying? So of course you see this hairstyle that everybody got. They use that hairstyle. It's the same reason why you see cyberpunk chicks always got like the half-shaved Karen with the neon colors, because that's a cyberpunk thing. You see it through all types of cyberpunk media, all types of cyberpunk characters, hacker characters, techno characters. They all have that same shaved off the side swoop haircut, and now it's become like a meme, you know what I'm saying, where if you see that, you know that it's like woke or transhumanist or something. So it's not really a negative thing, but it's time to stop though. I'm just tired of seeing it. A lot of other people tired of seeing it. You can come up with a different hairstyle. Come on, we believe in you.
It's time to do.
Alright, so this one gonna be kind of interesting, okay? But one trope that I think needs to kind of like have a moratorium in black escapism is Egypt. Look, don't boo me, don't get mad, but I think it's time to stop with Egypt. And the reason I say this is because Egypt is kind of like Japan when it comes for Asian culture. Like, there are so many other parts of Asia you can talk about, but people usually go Japan or China, because those are the big ones. All right, you know, so if you're talking about Asian culture, he's going to be a samurai, a ninja, a shogun, you know what I'm saying? You know, you're talking about dragons, it's going to be like the Chinese dragon, like you see at the New Year. The same thing happens with Africa. When people say, oh, we want to do an African story, they say, okay, and they automatically bust out the Egypt stuff. They bust out the gold and the head, the snake head piece thing, and mummies, and it's like, you know, that's cool, but there's way more to Africa than just Egypt, okay? All right, there's like an entire continent of Africa that's not Egypt. All right, you got Ethiopia. Ethiopia's got some cool stuff to it. Okay, all right, shoot, you know, I mean, everybody talks about how Christianity was forced on us by the colonizers and slaves and blah blah blah. When Ethiopia was building stone churches 1,000 years before Columbus even got to America, you know, so that's cool. You know, I was doing some research on the Fulani people, basically African cowboys for a completely different project. And they're basically African cowboys. You know, they take the aesthetics and, well, not the aesthetics, but what cowboys do in the Wild West and just put it into the African savannah. Cool. That's definitely something that you could do. There's, you know, different parts of West Africa. There's Central Africa. There's all types of different cultures in Central Africa that you could use. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't just have to be Egypt. You know what I'm saying? There's more to Africa. Shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do a God of War game and he killing freaking Ra and Hotep and all these Egyptians. I wouldn't even be surprised if that's the thing that's coming up. Because when you think Africa, Egypt. Time for that to stop. At least for a couple years.
Follow me.
All right, y'all. Drop whatever the fuck you're doing. Because we got some hell to raise.
Oh boy. I've been waiting to talk about this one for a while. This is a character trope that needs to end. It's the Black Revolutionary. I am kind of tired of seeing this character. Alright, because it's become... Now, I first used to see him here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the one that kind of sparked my interest was from the Wolfenstein games. You know what I'm saying? The last couple Wolfenstein games, you had like the black dude that looked like Jimi Hendrix, and then you had the black lady with the big afro that, you know, that's voiced by that black lady that plays like every Commander black lady ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had those two characters. And then you had the anarchist guy in Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? Spider-Punk. You had him, another anarchist revolutionary guy. And then lately you had one battle after another, which, by the way, I've seen the movie. I might have to spin the block on that one again. That's probably the worst millennial black lady character I've ever seen, and in the way they try to exalt this character in the movie, I'm just saying, everything that happens negatively in that movie is that character's fault. That character, the millennial black lady in that movie is a terrible character, bro. Alright, what's it, Persidia Montenegro or whatever her name is? Terrible character, dog. But yeah, the Black Revolutionary character, like, kind of has to stop. Like, you can do more, you know what I'm saying, if you have, like, different types of characters. The black character doesn't always have to be the revolution will not be televised. You don't have to always do that. You can do different types of characters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can make a Black Gandhi-like character. You know what I'm saying? Where he doesn't necessarily want to fight, but... You know what I'm saying? He does want to be free, or they want to do a revolution or whatever. If you just have to have that dynamic in your story, you know, or you can be cool. All right, you can have big old testicles and make the black guy the bad guy. Ooh, I'm just saying, you know, make the black guy the imperial guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a black empire. You know what I'm saying? That's got their boot on people's neck and people trying to rise up. I'm just saying, that'll be an interesting flip on the whole dynamic.
Well, this, Kita? What are you doing?
You do swim, do you not?
Oh, I swim pretty good. Swim good, pretty good.
The anime Super Negro. So this one is one that came up in the very first Tropes video. I hope I'm able to find this comment. It's kind of been bouncing around in my head for a while, and it is kind of a trope, but it's kind of like the Killmonger trope, where it's more like a design trope than it is a negative thing. And so if you don't know what this is, basically a lot of times in animation and anime, the black characters or the dark-skinned characters have like white or silver hair, and they'll have like blue eyes, and so it's kind of a trope. You see it a lot. And I was like, yeah, it is kind of a trope. I see it a lot in them, but I don't hate it though. You know what I'm saying? There's way too many baddies and daggone, you know what I'm saying, good characters that fit into this for me to hate this trope, because it's really just a design trope. And the reason they do this is probably because the aesthetic looks good on darker skinned characters. I'm just being honest. The silver hair or the white hair with the blue eyes, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good on dark skinned characters. I ain't gonna lie, you know. So I do say that they probably should come up with different combinations for these characters though, because like, you know, if you get stuck in this one aesthetic because it looks good, then you eventually fall into that Killmonger hairstyle, you know what I'm saying, dynamic, where it's like, okay, we're tired of seeing this. Can you come up with a new design trope for our characters, please? So that's a possibility. I don't hate the trope, but there should be a moratorium on it. All right, put it on the shelf with Egypt for a little while, you know?
We must leave. Do you understand? It is time to fly. Tell me your name.
George Washington Black.
How did you do that? He's a clever one, isn't he? You're going to be working with me from here on out.
DEI initiatives are ruining the country.
And the last one is the slave trope. Oh boy. So this one I am tired of seeing, and I think I've talked about it in other videos, but I'm kind of tired of seeing this time period, okay? All right, after the Sinners video, after Washington Black, which is the new show on Hulu, you know what I'm saying, after, you know, Castlevania Nocturne, it feels like there's so many shows now that go back to this time period just so they can do a slave dynamic or a slave narrative or rise up slave man or all this. It's like, I get it, we've got enough of those stories. Can we do some different stories? All right, because even though Sinners looked really good, the beautiful vistas and wide shots he got was cotton fields. All right, and you got your characters picking cotton, and it's like, why can't we escape this? Shoot, even real life black celebrities now out here picking cotton.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration?
I mean, it's all right, like...
So actually, it feels like...
What the hell no? Oh, hell no.
Bro, I never want to see cotton again. I don't even want to wear cotton clothes, okay? Bro, I'm tired of cotton, I'm tired of slavery. We need to, this whole time period, this needs to get cut out of the black escapism timeline, all right? At least for a couple years. There needs to be a moratorium on this timeline. You cannot make antebellum or what they call it, Jim Crow stories. None of them. Not for 2 years. Come back in 2027, okay? All right, I'm just being honest with you. And again, if you want to do this, you can. All right, remember, these are still guidelines. I'm not just out here saying, don't you dare write no antebellum story.
Liar!
Because there are some cool antebellum stories that could be told. Like, we could have like a, you know, I'm still waiting on somebody to do like a black antebellum story where the plantation family is like a black family that happens to be with like free blacks and they own some other. I'm just saying, that would be pretty. I think HBO was going to do that at one point. But then, like, things got really bad, like racial or whatever. And so they canceled the project. But, yeah, I think HBO had a project like that. You know what I'm saying? And they canceled it. Because there was another Civil War project that was kind of like that, too, where, like, black people got, like, a state in America or whatever, and some stuff happened. I think it was like a Harry Turtledove type of situation. And then they canceled it. So, there are other stories you could tell in that timeline, but if you're not trying to do something different, if you're not trying to do some alt history, don't do an antebellum story. Don't do a daggone Jim Crow story, because you're just going to do the same thing that 50 lamb other people done did with this timeline. So, that's about it. All right, that's about it. I think I could probably find one more. I probably could do one more tropes video, because right now it's getting hard to do tropes that I haven't covered or tropes that are just not really relevant. Cause like that's the reason why I did the root video, because they were covering stuff that just wasn't relevant, like the Mammy and the Brute and all this other kind of stuff, like stuff you ain't seen in like 20 years, you know. I want to do like some current tropes that are persistent now that need to stop. So tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you got some tropes that you want to see, I will definitely look into them, either positive or negative, because I want to do another positive tropes video too. So like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real. Why are you cutting grass now? Who cuts grass at this time of day? Like, it's neighbors, man.